guys, it's another video. I just want to update you guys on what's happening on Ark. So because I can show you some gameplay in a couple of days time, but unfortunately the app that I'm using won't let me record other games, so I have to update you like this. So basically what's been happening is we got raided again, so we lost everything. So we changed our tribe name, and for the third time, and basically we built a new base and got our first Bronto, a couple of raptors and Pteranodons. We got our first crocodile and baryonyx too, and then we got species X and a metal and stone base, and we were getting pretty good. We were building behemoth gates around our base, and then we got raided again by someone who joined someone's tribe. I'm not going to mention their name, but when they weren't supposed to, or they were just a new tribe member and they didn't know that we were allied with that tribe, so they came on a level 194 giga and smashed our base. So yeah, so we played on Ragnarok and checked that out. So there's actually a scorched earth area on Ragnarok, which is SW1. You spawn there, and there's like Morellatops, Jerboa. So this is only if you don't have the scorched earth DLC pack, and we don't have that yet. I'm hoping that I might be able to get scorched earth and aberration this year. I will definitely be doing more videos on aberration and scorched earth, but it's basically they're both really good new versions of the game. Anyway, so we've built a new base that's really close to the metal. It's near where our old base was, where we had really good stuff from the previous video that we did about Ark, before we changed our tribe name. It's really close to that area, but we were like so close to the metal spawns, like even closer than the last time. So basically what's happened there is we're really close to someone else's base, and they hate, if they were to find out that we changed our tribe names, they would hate us so much, because they were one of the people that raided us, well, one of the tribes that raided us. So basically what's going to happen is we've gotten back on our feet, but we still don't have any tames yet, and we were really close to the metal spawns. So we need to get out of there as soon as possible, because I bet you, as soon as I hop on tomorrow, everything's going to be gone again. But if it's not, then we're going to move, definitely, because as soon as they find out, they'll wreck us. Now, the reason why they wrecked us is because we were building on the metal spawns. Now, and they apparently told us to destroy them when they actually didn't tell any of us to destroy them. Well, at least they never told me. So they raided us for building on the metal spawns and stopping the metal from spawning. And then we had and then a couple of days ago, back at this new base that we have, really close to the metal spawns, we come and we look at the metal spawns, and this person who raided us is putting behemoth gates around pretty much the metal spawn. So what I'm trying to say is, we were putting one foundation wide what's it called? Refining forges, or refining forge huts, and we had like one of them, and it was on the very corner of the metal spawn, so it wasn't affecting much of the metal anyway. And so they raided us, and now this tribe has decided, hey, let's put, I don't know, 50, 60 behemoth gates around this metal spawn. So now all of it's gonna despawn, and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a sign saying, you shouldn't have done that, now it's not gonna spawn, because that's the reason why they raided us, and now they're being hypocrites and doing it themselves. So I'm kind of really annoyed about that. But we're not 100% sure where to move our base, because we are playing on the center, and it isn't an official server. It is PvP, obviously. So if you have any recommendations on where you think we should build, because like if you can like name some coordinates on the center map or something, it would be great if it wasn't the redwoods, the swamp, or the snow biome, which rules out a lot of areas, because the jungle's the main area that we're gonna build if we can, but it's so full of people that we have to be careful. But I know for a fact we can't build in the area that we've built in right now. We'll get raided so quick by this person who raided us. And I also found out, like, before we changed our tribe name, for the second time, because we've changed our tribe name 3 times, but before we changed our tribe name for the second time, one of the tribes who's raided us twice now, one by accident and one on purpose, that tribe, so they do meat runs on their gigas, because they need tons of meat for their dinos, because they have like 20 gigas, and 4 spinos and lots of rexes and stuff, so they're a big tribe, and they're not even the alphas, so you'd be surprised to see how big the alpha space is, so they go in the jungles. There's like quite a lot, there's a couple of streams and near where we build, and they're quite deep, but they're not full of piranhas where we built at the time. And we had a tiny island with a cliff on top, so and it was tiny, it had no resources on it, so, and no dinos at all, it's like really tiny, so we built a base on it. And then this tribe, who was really nice to us, they never thought that we'd be good enough to get species X, which is kind of rude actually. They always thought that we would be noobs, so they said, you know what, you can build here, it's perfectly fine. And then we get species X, and when they are swimming across the river, our species X shoot them, and of course it slows them down, it blinds them, and it does damage, so it's really annoying. And they told one of my other tribe members to get us to move, and my tribe member said no. So they said, well, we have no choice, we're raiding you. And yeah, and then the next day I was being nasty to someone else. I don't know why, I just was, because I was defending myself because they weren't being that nice. And then Magister raided us, so I assumed that it was my fault that we got raided, when it was actually my other tribe member's fault. Anyway, I think I'm gonna talk about the DLC packs for Ark Survival Evolved. So I think I'm gonna start off with Scorched Earth, because even though I don't know as much about Scorched Earth as I do about Aberration, surprisingly. So Scorched Earth, there's heat waves, thunderstorms, and sandstorms. And and thunderstorms stop electric things from working. Sandstorms blind you, and heat waves can kill you from heat. And the most common place to find water is always by all of the obelisks. There are always lakes by the obelisks. So and it's also kind of hard to find water, but there are water veins that you can look for, and water bugs so that you can get water. There is no plant species X, there's plant species Y though, so which is different. I'm not sure what it looks like. Morellatops collect water and it stores them, like kind of like a water reservoir, I believe. And then there's wyverns, which are pretty much the main thing that people were excited about to do with scorched earth. So of course there's the wyvern den, and then there's 3 wyverns that you can get. But the thing is, it's not a knockout tame, a passive tame, or a catch tame, which I'll explain. It's from aberration. Well, the catch tame's from aberration. So we get, what happens is you have to steal its egg and some of its milk. So what happens is with the egg, you have to steal it and fly out. And the strongest one out of all 3 is the electric wyvern. So there's the poison wyvern, the fire wyvern, and the electric wyvern. All of them look pretty OP, and the electric wyverns, I believe, is the most powerful. Well, at least my brother thinks that. So what we're doing, so yeah, you have to steal the egg, and you have to kill a female wyvern and get its milk from it, and then you have to raise this wyvern and feed it the wyvern milk and imprint it so that when it grows up it's tamed, and then you can ride it around. You don't need a saddle for it, and it has 2 attacks. And there's also the manticore, which is the only boss, unlike the original, and yeah, and like unlike the original, aberration only has 1 boss. But basically, the manticore is part dragon, part lion, I believe. Yeah, definitely. And it's so basically you can kill it and you can tame it, just like the brood mother, the dragon, and the megapithecus. Yeah, so you can ride it, can fly, and so I'd be quite interested to see a video, if I can find it on YouTube, manticore vs dragon. I'd like to see which one is better, because I was playing on a cheat world today, and I was flying around on the dragon, and it was really cool. I have to tell you a funny story. I was riding at Equus, and there was a really shallow lake, and I jumped into it, and it just sped right across the lake. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's faster than a motorboat, and it's faster than anything in the entire sea game. All I did was, this isn't even hacks. I didn't even use any commands or anything. I just jumped into the water and it just sped right through the water. It was so funny. And then when I landed on the other side, I bounced right through the air and above all of the jungle trees and just landed right smack bang in the middle of the jungle. And I was like, wow, because I had 3 direwolves and I was wondering where the heck they went. So it was kind of hilarious because I couldn't find them after that, because I just swam all the way through the ocean, out swimming mosasaurs and stuff, and I just jump out of the water, smack bang right into the trees, and then it happens again and the Equus died. It was kind of sad. But yeah, so that's just a little idea of scorched earth. And then aberration, the sunlight kills you, there are earthquakes, and some dinos hunt you. So no matter if you're in PvP or PvE, in PvP you have to go up against the hazards and the like environment and wait yeah and people, and in PvE it's just hazards and environment. But this element of aberration gives a whole new level to PvE players, because the some of the things that you fight against in PvP people, they fight against dinos too. PvE people fight against dinos. Both of them do that, which is a similarity between the two. So but the thing is with this is that this boss, the Reaper Queen, actually hunts you. It comes out looking for you, and it attacks you with chest bursters. So it like impregnates you with like something in your chest, and it just bursts and kills you, pretty much like having a bomb inside you or something. And but that's not the best thing. So, even though it's the boss, and it has like little fire minions and stuff. And then we have the rock drake, which is my favorite. Now I'm going to tell you this in a second. So the rock drake is really cool because it can climb up things just like the megalania, so it can climb up anything and cling to trees like a thylo. And basically it has feathers and it can come in different colors, and its head looks kind of like a tapijara, except like a bit different, and it has feathers and scales, so a mix between the two. So it's like a bit different. But the thing about this one is it can glide. So let's say you're climbing up the rock like a megalania, and then you just jump and you glide across the map, and there's this super speed charge move, and you just go like, so you're just gliding along and you're starting to get slow, and you just go shoom, and then you cling right against the rock and climb up it. And you can also turn invisible, and it's really cool. I love this thing. It's like so cool. If you watch the trailer, then you know how cool it is. And apparently just like wyverns, you have to steal the eggs or something. Anyway, aberration it's basically full of radiation. So everything's been mutated. So there's like aberrant piranha and stuff, and there are some dinos who have glow on them. But the thing is, certain things hunt you. I'm not sure what it's called. The nameless is what it's called. It gets basically what happens is it goes after you when you don't have light. So at level 1 you can get a torch, right? But in aberration you can't. So you have to find light, but you can't build in the sun because it actually decays your builds, and it hurts you, and it can make you sick and stuff. So you have to build in the dark. But there are 4 things, like the bulb dog is one of them. There are 3 others, I'm not sure what it is, but basically they're little companions that light the way. And there's a new resource called charge, which you use for 4 things. So yeah, that's a new resource. I can't exactly remember the rest, but I know that also there are no flyers. There are only gliders. So and one of this is that you're living in a cave, so you have to use special tools like rock climbing equipment to get up across the map, and zip lines and rope ladders, and these things that I like calling elytra, but they're actually gliders, so you can glide across the map. There are grappling hooks, but they're kind of hard to make. And then there's this rock drake. so it can glide across the map too. It's like one of the only flying thing. It's literally the only flying thing. Well, the gliding thing, you can't stay still in the air. You have to be moving, and you can't stay in the air like a pteranodon or a RG or a tapijara or any flying thing. It just glides, so eventually you'd land on the ground. So it's literally the only thing that can fly, per se. And even then, it's a temporary amount of time. So, yeah, basically, which is why the rock drake is probably my favorite. Now I'm gonna go over the different types of ways you can tame things. So, knockout tame, obviously. So you have to knock it out, and it could be running away from you, it could be attacking you, or it could do a bit of both. And basically, you use things with high torpidity damage, so like trank arrows, trank darts, slingshots, all of that stuff, and you knock it out, and then you have to feed it, and you have to try and keep its torpidity up, because if it goes down to 0, then it will wake up again, and all of your taming progress is lost. So you have to make sure that that purple bar is up, and then you have the tame bar, and you want that to get up as high as possible at 100%. Then it will wake up and it will be tamed. And some creatures you need saddles to ride them, other creatures you don't, and some creatures you can't ride them at all, like small creatures like dillos and stuff. So you can't ride them, but they can carry things for you. So, which is why they're good. And then there's so that's knockout tames. Then there's passive taming, and most people don't like passive taming at all, because so some things you have to sneak up on them. Well, all of them, most of them you have to sneak up on them, and some of them, if you do have to sneak up on them, if they see you, then they'll run away. And some of them, if you have to sneak up on them. If they see you, they'll attack you. For example, the Bigfoot. I've forgotten what the name of it is called. So basically, you have to hide behind it and feed it things, and usually it'll say wait until it's hungry again, or it will say, like for the hyenodon, it will say in 30 seconds, it will say pet me, so you just keep petting it, but you have to feed it the thing that it likes, and it's usually very specific, like you have to feed it this exact thing, and but most of these things are usually tiny, so you don't have to ride them, but some, so you can't ride them, like the Lystra. And then there is one thing that I can think of, which is the Bigfoot, that you don't need the saddle for to ride, and it is a passive tame. And then there's a new thing for aberration called catch taming, and it works with piranhas. So what you do is you get a fish net and you put it out in the ocean, well, in lakes, and you keep it there. And basically, when a piranha gets close to it, you pick up the fish net and it catches the piranha inside. And basically, when you let the piranha out, it'll be tamed. So it's a super simple process, apart from the fact that you have to make sure that you don't get attacked by the piranhas, otherwise it could lead them away from the trap, and they could also kill you. And then, like, I think I'd rather have my stuff than have a piranha. But the cool thing is you can just get a pond full of piranhas and then drop your foes into it, and they'd just be done. You just have 1,000 piranhas in this massive lake, and then you have them all on aggressive, and they just annihilate this person. That would be kind of hilarious. So yeah, that's catch taming, and I don't believe there are any other ways to tame other than force taming, which is cheating. It's like just literally a press of a button and it's tamed and you can ride it around. Some things you need to cheat in the saddle though, which I really hate because I can't for some reason. On my console, I cannot cheat in the items. I've tried literally everything on YouTube and it won't work. And I've tried like anything on the internet, and there isn't a book on codes or anything, so I can't do anything about it, which sucks. Because I really want to get like a tick tapey jar, a saddle or something, because any of the things that you need a saddle for, I can't ride them. I can ride things like dire wolves and the dragon and manticore and that kind of, and equus and stuff, but I can't ride other things. So it's kind of sad really because some things are off limits literally, so I don't have full access to the cheating game, but I don't like cheating. I only do it just to have a bit of fun and see how good things are at a certain level. For example, the dragon at level 1, I want to see how much damage it does, and then that kind of thing. And I want to see how fast it flies at level 1, and how far it can go at level 1, and that kind of thing. And which is why the main reason I cheat, and also because I really want to see how fun it is when you're actually riding it. Because for example, you really, really, really want something, and then you cheat it in a game, and you want to see, is it actually fun to ride? Is it hard to ride? Is it like hard to turn mid-air? Does it not jump that well? Is it slow? Does it have terrible stamina? You want to think of all of that kind of thing, and you test it out. And if it turns out to be terrible, it's good to know if it's a terrible tame before you tame it, because you don't want to tame, for example, a dire wolf that's kind of slow when you first get it, and then be like, oh my god, this thing's so slow, this was such a waste of time. So you need to expect that you'll need to expect that you will need to level it up quite a bit in movement speed and health and melee damage and stamina, obviously, but mainly movement speed for dire wolves in this case. So you'd either have to do that, or you'd have to try and or you just not tame a dire wolf at all and tame like a megaloceros or a carnivore like a thylo or saber-tooth that's on the ground, because like in that regard, there's the only thing to do with dire wolves that's kind of the same size and is a ground mount, thylos, saber-tooth, and hyenodons. And hyenodons you can't ride because they're too small. So, and they're kind of like in the same kind of family, if you think about it. Yeah, sure, it's cats and dogs, but they're in the same size and they live in the same areas and they do the same things. So technically you can classify them as one family, just slightly different appearances and stuff. So yeah, basically that's aberration. I think this is probably going to be near the end of the video, but yeah, aberration is going to be really cool. It is, I know for a fact it is going to be hard though. in the comment section, I want you to write, like, I want you to watch both of the trailers, Aberration and Scorched Earth, Ragnarok, and the Ark original release date. And I want you to write in the comment section. You can watch Ragnarok in the original if you want to, but I want you to watch the Scorched Earth one and the Aberration one, and then I want you to come back and think, which one do I like more? And basically you're going to type in this comment section, if you want to, which one you like more. Do you like the Aberration or do you like Scorched Earth? Personally, I like Aberration because it's more fantasy, like alien-like, and it's also darker and has brighter colors. So, and then there's Scorched Earth, which is more bland and dry, and I don't like dry as much. I'm more of like, which is why I prefer the jungles on the center map. I like darker, more wet kind of, I don't know, like that kind of thing. So yeah, I'm going to go now, but I will see you later, and I'm going to be uploading this really soon. So bye.